Let's start in the West. The Warriors, the number 1 seed, take on the Clippers, the number 8 seed. The Warriors have won 16 of the last 18 games against the Clippers. They absolutely own them psychologically. This is also a game in which you got two teams that can hit threes. The Warriors are the best three-ball shooting team in league history and number 1 in three percentage this year. Guess who's number 2? The Clippers. The Clippers mostly played their butts off, had great chemistry, and I think that matters a lot in the regular season. Where, let's be honest, a lot of the star-driven teams kind of mailed in parts of the regular season. But once you get to the playoffs, and I get the Warriors' talent and their urgency, they'll get rid of the Clippers probably in 4 games. The Clippers are a great story. I think they're going to be better next year, but their big advantage this year was effort, and that dies in the playoffs. Warriors win easily. Next up, Rockets-Jazz. Best first-round playoff series. Not that there'll be an upset, but I think Utah is going to win some games here. Utah is the best defensive team in the West. Quinn Snyder is arguably the best coach in the West. They have the best rim protector, Rudy Gobert, in the West. What Houston doesn't have, many shooters. And that's their undoing. Houston has played very well. They split their 4 games this year, 2-2, and they both have the 2 best records in the NBA since the All-Star break. These are the most efficient teams playing in the league right now. But the Rockets have more talent. They're 20-4 in their last 24. But I'll tell you, I feel bad for Utah because I really like Utah. I think you can make an argument. The best team in this league is the Warriors. The second best team is Houston. And the third best team's Milwaukee or Utah. But I just don't think they've got the ammo from the perimeter to beat the Rockets. Blazers, Thunder. Blazers a 3rd seed, Oklahoma City a 6. Now, the Thunder dominated this series. I saw a couple of games. They won 4 out of 4 games. This is all about Westbrook. If I get the efficient Westbrook, shoot 17 times, distributes to Paul George. Paul George's never been a great playoff player so far in his career. He's been a great regular season guy. The Blazers have played very well, but they lost Nurkic to an injury. They've still gone 14-3 in their last 17, and C.J. McCullough's back after a knee injury. But the Thunder are a very, very, very good home team. I thought they played very well last 4 or 5 games down the stretch. They're healthy. They're ready to go. A lot of it's Westbrook. I think if the Thunder win the first game or 2 of the series, they feel good about themselves. They go on the road. Then Westbrook is not going to unravel. And I think this will be a fairly quick series. Thunder win it in 5. Westbrook finally gets out of the first round. There, I said it. Finally, Nuggets Spurs. I think the Nuggets are a bad matchup for San Antonio. Nuggets got nothing but guys who can hit threes. San Antonio's well coached, but mostly shoots mid-range jumpers. The Spurs are a terrible road team. The Nuggets are a great home team without altitude. In fact, the Nuggets were 34-7 at home. Now, I will say this. The Nuggets' great strength is their depth. But the Nuggets' top 3 scorers have never been in the playoffs. So there's a chance here where you're going to get a veteran coach against a young coach and a veteran squad against the young squad, and this gets a little uncomfortable. I think Game 1 in the series is big. I think the Nuggets need to win Game 1 of this series at home, feel good about themselves, because I think they're going to be a little tight. I think San Antonio's got a great coach, a great staff, and they have been through these battles before. If San Antonio pulls off an upset in Game 1, watch out. Grab your buckets in Denver and bail water, because it could be a scary series. But I'll take the Spurs winning a couple, but Denver winning the series. Let's go to the East. Bucks Pistons. Wouldn't watch it if it was in my backyard. It will be a 4-game sweep. It won't be close. On both ends of the floor, Milwaukee's significantly better. The best rebounding team in the league is arguably Milwaukee. Best defensive team in the league is arguably Milwaukee. The Bucks swept the series. The Pistons are okay at home, dreadful on the road. They have the worst road record of any playoff team. You know, you could make an argument if you live in Michigan, you would have been better served having Detroit tank at the end of the year and get a lottery pick. They got no chance to win this series. Blake Griffin, by the way, has had a good year. Blake's had a good year. I'm not a huge Blake Griffin fan, but he's played a lot of games. He plays a lot of minutes, but they are completely outmatched in this series. Celtics-Pacers. Indiana is a great story, but once they lost Victor Oladipo, we talked about this, their ceiling got way low. They're another team like the Clippers. They got here on effort. They bust their tail. They're well coached. But effort is not going to win it for you in the playoffs, because those effort nights you win 10, 12 games in the NBA because you just work harder. In the playoffs, everybody's working hard. Celtics have won 6 of their last 8, including 2 against Indianapolis, and the Pacers did not play well down the stretch. Listen, people figured them out. After Victor got hurt, they played well for about a month. People have figured out. They struggle to get buckets. Indiana's all about defense. So some of these games will be ugly, but the Boston Celtics will win probably in 5. All right, this one is interesting. I think we could have a potential upset here. The 3rd-seeded Sixers against the 6th-seeded Nets. Here's my problem with Philadelphia. They have way better talent. But here's a problem. Tobias Harris was added in the season. Embiid may not play this weekend. Simmons and Jimmy Butler, they haven't played enough together. This reminds me of Duke at the end of the college basketball season. They had all these kids. They all got separately hurt. Duke just didn't have any experience playing together. Philadelphia split the season series with Brooklyn. Brooklyn's playing with house money. D'Angelo Russell. These guys, there's no pressure on them. The pressure is all on Philadelphia. Philadelphia has got one playoff series win with all these guys. Embiid may not play. I don't want to call an upset because Philadelphia's talent disparity is so great in this series. If I said take the 5 best players, you'd go Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Simmons, then you'd probably go D'Angelo, Tobias Harris. 4 of the 5 best players are with Philadelphia. But I think the Nets push back, win some games early, pressure's on the Sixers. Finally, Raptors Magic. Kawhi Leonard sat 22 games. There's a reason. They didn't want to get swept in the first round. Raptors their best player is rested, ready to go. They're a deeper team. I'll give Orlando credit. They got into the playoffs. I mean, it's the East, but they got into the playoffs. They call something in the NBA win shares. Kawhi's number 3 in the NBA. Jordan 1, LeBron 2, Kawhi 3rd. So he's on a lot of winning teams. Some of that's just San Antonio, though. I think the Raptors, much like Virginia basketball, off being humiliated last year in the playoffs, will come hard. They'll be aggressive. They've got their star rested. And I think Orlando knows it. It's a 2 versus 7. The bottom of the East is really bad. It's really bad. Whereas the bottom of the West, San Antonio, Clippers, interesting. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.